up, it's Lauren, and today I'm going to be doing a Q&A video for you guys, all related to back to school questions. So I've been asking you guys throughout like a variety of my videos for questions for a back to school Q&A. I haven't done a Q&A in so long, and I'm not really sure if people even like watching Q&As anymore. So anyways, if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Lauren, and I make a lot of college lifestyle, haul videos, just a variety of lifestyle videos. And if you guys want to follow me on my social media, I will have it linked over here. And without further ado, why don't we jump right on into the Q&A. So I have my questions on my laptop here. So the first question is, would you recommend joining a sorority if you're shy or introverted? So this is a really good question because I feel like a lot of people get kind of intimidated by sororities that are more shy and introverted, just because it seems like such a social thing, and people who are more introverted seem like it might be something that's really out of their comfort zone. I think if you're shy or introverted, it's a great way to meet new people. But if you're thinking about it and you really want to join one and you are shy and introverted, totally go for it. There's so many different types of people in sororities. Not everyone is extroverted. It may seem like that, but not everyone is. I definitely, in my sorority, there's tons of people who are more introverted that are in a sorority, and they still really like it, and they met so many people that way. How did you find the right college for you? There's so many options. I don't know how to choose. So this is definitely really overwhelming, like finding a college and figuring out where you want to go. I did a whole entire video like 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was like 2 years ago, on how I chose the perfect college for me. So I'll have that linked or carded over here. I would look at location and then look at size. So figure out like how big of a school you want or how small of a school you want, and then how much you want to pay for tuition. So maybe an out-of-state school versus an in-state school, or public versus private school. That video that I made really touches on everything. How do you structure your week before final / studying schedule? What do you find the most effective way to study? So again, a lot of these questions I actually have whole videos on that I can get into more details with, so I will have that video linked over here. I really utilize my planner to schedule everything, so I see like which final is coming first, and then I study for that one like a week before, and then I'll see which final is last and then study for that one a little bit later. I literally write down like, okay, like Monday I'm going to study for this final and this final, and then I'll write Tuesday and I'll study for this final and this final, and I make a week schedule of when I'm going to study for each final and when I'm going to study for it. What's the best way to introduce yourself to people on your floor? I'm kind of shy, but I want to make friends at college. So I know that I said in my dorm video to go to your floor and introduce yourself the first day or two, which I personally did, and I made friends that way. So that's why I always kind of push that on people. But pretty much when you introduce yourself, just introduce yourself. Be like, hey, I'm Lauren. I live in room blah blah blah. I'm like a freshman. Are you guys doing anything later? Like, if you want to grab lunch. Like, one of my friends now from college, I literally asked her if she wanted to get lunch. Like, I did, and it may seem kind of uncomfortable and you're like, I don't want to do that, but like when you're in college and you really want to make friends, like that's kind of, I literally just pushed myself. I like made myself walk out the door and introduce myself to everyone, and I was like, if people are like weird about it, then like I don't want to be friends with them anyways. What do you think is the best way to study and take notes in college classes? Again, I have a whole video about studying and taking notes. I have like 4 videos on that, so I will have that carded over here. And if you guys want to check out my college playlist, I have tons and tons of videos on there about like so many different topics. But pretty much the best way to study for me personally is I like to rewrite notes, rewrite information. I have like notebooks and I'll like rewrite notes, because it just stays in my head when I rewrite things. I'll do flashcards if it's something to do with like terms. I'm a communications PR major, so most of my projects involve essays and public speaking, so I don't really have as many exams. Taking notes in college classes, I really utilize my teacher's presentations, so if they put them online, I always print them out as the notes. Or when I'm taking notes in college, I kind of shorten everything. You don't have to write everything on the slide, but if they put their notes online, that's a great thing because you can print them out and use those as a good way to study. Teachers also give out study guides, which is so helpful as well when you're trying to study. So that's really great. When you go to college, do you completely get rid of your high school friends? So that's the first part of this person's question. So no, you do not. I feel like that's like one misconception people have, is that they're never going to talk to their high school friends again. And you come home for breaks, so you're obviously going to talk to your high school friends again. I still kept in touch with like a majority of my high school friends. You may not talk to them as often, like during the week or like during the months you're in college. Like you might go like a couple weeks without talking to them, but when you come home, it's like you never left each other. That's usually how your true friends are in high school. Like, I would just Snapchat my friends, like, because we have streaks and stuff, but like I never fully texted or FaceTimed many of my friends in college, but we're still friends when we come home on breaks. So the friends that are important to you and that are good friends are the ones you're going to keep in touch with. Do you have any advice on long distance relationships, such as going to 2 different colleges between you and your significant other? Personally, me, I have not had a boyfriend in college, so I really truly don't know how to answer this question. I guess you just have to have open communication. I feel like that's how everything is, like FaceTiming each other a lot and just trying to like keep up with each other and see what you guys are doing so you don't feel lost. But I also feel like when you're in 2 different colleges and you're trying to do that and meet new friends, it can get very overwhelming. So don't let that like overtake your life though, trying to like see what your boyfriend's doing all the time. Try to like, again, meet new people and really be immersed in your college experience, because I know that that's definitely something I think is important. How do you decide what clubs to join? Okay, so schools usually always have club fairs in the beginning of the semester that you guys can go to, so they usually have all the clubs there, and you can go up and just talk to people about the club that they're in and see if you like it. They usually have a list of clubs on the website, so maybe before you go to college you can see what clubs your school offers, but don't overwhelm yourself. Definitely choose like 2 clubs that you think are really good, and if you don't like them you can join a new one second semester, or any of your interests, there's usually some type of club for it. So that's definitely a good thing about college, is usually people start up clubs for so many different things. Can you explain the process and timeline about getting loans? So I know that student loans are something that I feel like is another like taboo topic and no one talks about it. So like personally me, I have to take out student loans for school. I don't go to your specific school, so personally I would call your financial aid office if you want to get like specific about how you need to pay off loans. Every school has a financial aid office, so I definitely would call them. But for me personally, you have to see how many loans your school gives you. Sometimes your school will give you loans that are subsidized and unsubsidized. So subsidized means you don't really have to pay an interest rate on it. But unsubsidized means that there's like usually a lower interest rate for the school ones. So they'll give you loans for that. You have to make sure they're like activated, and then you have to take the difference and sometimes take out private loans. So you have to go to like maybe like Sallie Mae or Discover, or just kind of shop around and see who gives you the lowest interest rate. Next question, if you can't afford to go to a 4-year college, should you transfer or go to a 4-year college and just take loans, financial aid, and scholarships? So this is a great question. Honestly, it comes down to what you want to pay when you get out of school. I think going to a 2-year community college and then transferring in is really, really smart if you can't necessarily afford a 4-year university. You can save so much money. Definitely look into that, looking to see how much a public school would give you. Even some private schools throw so much money where it comes down to a public school price. So definitely see how much aid these private schools will give you. I know that happens to some people. They go to private schools for like barely anything, and the base price there is actually brought down way lower. So definitely check that out. How to make friends at the start of college without coming off as clingy. So I feel like when you're trying to make friends in the beginning of college, you won't come off as clingy because everyone wants to make friends and everyone wants to meet new people. I don't think I ever came off as clingy, and I don't think you will come off that way because everyone is in that same boat and everyone wants to meet new people. So I don't think that you trying to be friendly and stuff is going to be really anything out of the ordinary. Would you recommend a part-time job on campus? I'm worried that the workload might be too much, but I also would like to make some money. Would you suggest it? 100% would suggest a part-time job on campus. Usually schools offer a lot of part-time jobs. I was gonna get a part-time job my freshman year, but I ended up just doing YouTube videos instead, so that was kind of like my part-time job during college. But I 100% recommend it because it can get expensive when you're in college with like so many different things. They pretty much give students a good work schedule, so it's not too overwhelming. They're not gonna overwork you because they know you're a student and this is a student part-time job. What are some ground rules you highly recommend between roommates? So I think it's really good to just set ground rules when you get to your room, or even before, just like exactly what time you guys are going to be going to bed, if people are coming over your room, you know, if people are like when you guys are going to clean your room, just basic things like that. How do you survive the first week of college for freshman year? Again, I did a whole video on this. I'll have it carded over here. But surviving the first week, again, it could be a little overwhelming with classes, but just to keep yourself super organized, again, like figuring out when your classes are and where they are, doing like a little dry run of your classes is really nice. And just going to club fairs, going to the job fair, you know, just trying to meet new people. That's what I would pretty much do your first week. So anyways guys, I hope this video was helpful and I answered some of your guys' questions. So if you guys have other questions down below, definitely leave those. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys all in my next one. Bye.